Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we're actually going to get into another review, a product review, and this is of the Gerber suspension multi-tool. Now, the reason why this item is a little bit special to me is because it actually is my first multi-tool that I actually purchased, and this is probably going back about maybe 4 years ago. I bought some other multi-tools since, but this was the one that kind of first started it. I seen it and got a good deal on it. I bought it online, got a good deal on it for about, at the time, I want to say it was around $20 or a little less than $20. So it was a pretty good deal at the time. Since that time, right now, it kind of goes for about $45 to $50. But we'll jump into this. So the Gerber suspension, I actually like this tool a lot. And I see that there's a lot of people who like it a lot as well. And you have a few people who are, I guess to say, on the trend of, maybe they like fancier names and they'll say, oh, I don't like this about this tool or that about this tool. But for the price, or at least what the price was, all the multi-tools have gone up in price. So I can't even knock it for its price because everything has gone up. I also have a Leatherman Wingman that started about $45 when I bought it, was about, shortly after the time I bought this, and is now going for $70. So everything's going up. So, I won't knock this specific tool for that. But I think it's actually a really good tool. Now let's go through the tool list on it really quickly. So here you have your sharp blade, your flat edge, and I actually like it because it's actually very sharp. Of all my multi-tools, it's one of the sharpest blades. Now, it's not the longest. Sometimes people want a really long blade, but I feel that this tool is not for that. There are other tools that are geared towards, you having a long knife for whatever the reason that you want to have that. I feel this tool is more about having a lot of tools on it and not so much about, a really big knife, because sometimes that's the focal point of certain multi-tools. And I feel like that's not the case with this one, about having this really big knife, but it is very sharp. It is a very good knife too, in my opinion, for things like maybe opening packages and things of that sort. So, or whatever little things you're using it for, to cut things. Yeah, I used it to actually cut some I forget what that was called, like plaster or stucco, one of those kind of bottles that have that kind of stuff you use to cork up walls and stuff like that. So it's a little messy. So that's the sharp edge tool. I'm sorry, the flat edge knife. I'm a little bit in a funk right now. So I'll start over here. We have the serrated, and though I don't use this because I don't have a reason to, I think that there's nothing wrong with it. It seems plenty sharp enough for what you would need to use it for. Yeah, it's not very long, but like I said, once again, I feel like this tool is more about having a lot of different options and less about everything being really big. So here, I'm gonna reach in here, get the saw. The teeth are not super long and exaggerated. I'm not really the type of person who uses a saw, so I can't really speak to, how good it is or not, but you have that option. And the last thing on the outer end is the I'll get to that later because it's actually hard to reach, and that's actually the scissors. So let me just pull all the tools out. Those were the main ones that you would reach to on a pinch. Some of the more internal tools, and I just want to point out all the tools, and I think that this is what made this multi-tool stand out from the day that it was created, was that all the tools, I'm sorry, are on the outside of the tool, so, or of the frame, so you don't have to open it up to get to that. You only have to open up to get to the pliers. So I thought that was very interesting, and I think that's also part of the reason why a lot of these tools, they may not be super long like a lot of the blades, but everything is just on the outer part and you have it all compressed there, so you never have to open it up for that. So I think that's a positive if that's something that matters to you. So here you have the bottle opener and can opener. It's not very sharp can opener, but it's can opener. We have here the flathead small screwdriver. You have a little lanyard ring, or a keychain ring, whatever you want to call it. And the scissors, which I had a hard time getting to without actually opening up all the rest of these tools. The scissor, I'm going to speak on this to say it's small. It cut well in the very beginning. Later on, for me though, and this is one problem I have with this, get it to lock in. The rest of the tools got to be in place for it to lock in, I believe. I don't know why it's not locking in right now. Okay, there we go. The other tools are hindering it from locking in because they either got to be in their full position out or full position down. So my opinion on this is the scissor cuts fine, at least for things like paper and whatnot. It cuts fine. My issue is this little retention piece or spring. It falls out of place like that when you press it too hard. I don't like that. And I've had that happen a few times, and it makes me just not want to use the scissors at all. I think this is a poor design. I think this is a very poor design, and Gerber uses this a lot. I've seen in some of their tools, and I think a few other companies that do use it like that as well. I think it's a very poor design. So that's something that I think is a negative and should be changed, because I've heard people who say they have to pull it out and then bend it back so it keeps its retention, because the way they would have it. Yeah, my scissors are not putting it all the way. Okay. And then on this side, we'll go through all the ones here again. This one has the normal or larger flathead screwdriver. This is your Phillips screwdriver, which, as I commented in another review video of a different multi-tool, I don't particularly like this type because it's too flat, but I get it. In these tools, you're just trying to throw something in there that can be utilized. It's not going to be perfect because, this tool is really just about cramming as much as you can in there and saving space. And obviously we already went over that. So that's pretty much your options when it comes to that. And then last is your pliers, which you have the needle nose, your normal, and then your wire cutters, which I actually like these wire cutters just because they touch, at least, where some actually don't touch on certain tools. Like my Wingman does not touch. I like the way it feels. I feel like the whole tool is very sturdy. It's strong. It doesn't feel flimsy. It has it's built, I feel, where it doesn't really wobble. It doesn't like shake. I like it. I actually like it. It's not more, for lack of a better word, like a glamorous tool. It doesn't have that prestige to it, because everyone knows that when it came out, it was like, maybe, I don't know, 25, 30 bucks, maybe. If you catch it on sale, it was like $20. It was never the glamorous tool. So, I've heard a lot of people say, oh yeah, that's not whatever, it's not a great tool, but I feel it does everything you need it to do, especially in a pinch. It's a great tool for somebody who you're not this super handy man. You're just a regular guy. Maybe you work around your apartment, you work around your house, you work around the yard. You just need a tool on you. You work around your car. You just happen to need a tool on you at any given time. I feel it's great for that. It's your everyday regular person, not necessarily, some really heavy handyman type. I can't really speak to say how well it works for that. But as far as just having a tool, just around the house, just around where you're around about, having an option on you, I think everyone should carry some kind of tool on them whenever they're out and about, whether it's in the car, have something at home that's easy to grab. I think that this works great for that. No complaints. I have no complaints about it. And that's the review of the Gerber suspension. Leave some notes inside the comments, whatever your thoughts are about the tool. And yeah, catch you guys in the next video.